Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
We also have, from Kotobukiya, the Artifacts Plus Stormtrooper 2-pack, going a bit bigger, at about 8 inches tall compared to the Figure Art 6, but these are a couple of statues versus action figures. We've been meaning to review these for a while. They've been gracing my recording desk and looking pretty cool on it ever since we were hooked up with these by Dan at Toy Fair. But this is the 2 Stormtrooper set that is out now, and we'll be comparing it to the not yet released single Stormtrooper pack that's coming. But just for some preface, I love the Artifacts Plus line. I was a little iffy on it when they first started it. Remember when they first announced it? I was buying all their Artifacts stuff, the light up Yodas, the Darth Mauls, and they started the smaller scale Artifacts Plus. I remember seeing it, I think, at Toy Fair years ago in their showroom and being like, well, it's Rhoda and Ahsoka, and it was 2008 for the Clone Wars movie. They were doing a clone set and a Jedi set with the Build-A-Figures, and I was like, they're much smaller, they're much lighter weight. I wasn't quite sure how I felt about them, and as the line's gone on, though, this has become one of my favorite collectible lines. What put me off initially, their smaller size than the Artifacts, means you can display a lot of them.
Yeah, what's great about them is they come with a base, which has room for others on it, so you can put as few or as many as you want if you want to troop build with these, and you can change them up because it's got that great magnetic base.
Yeah, that's something they introduced very early on with the magnetic feet and have stuck with, and it does mean much easier to display. The smaller statues sometimes have a tipping problem. The magnet takes care of that. It's nice, strong magnets. I don't know if they're super magnets you have to keep away from babies, but they're good magnets in here. And they've really become original trilogy focused as this line's continued. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of the OT stuff coming in the Artifacts Plus, with the prequel stuff being kind of the exclusives they put out versus the main line. But they went heavy with The Force Awakens and the Stormtrooper 2-pack. But coming to this, I felt I knew what I was going to be reviewing because having quite a few Artifacts Plus figures or statues, they're snapped together so they can technically be model kits. You can't see me air quoting on that. In order to keep the licensing going. And you put them together and they're nice little statues. But I knew I have some that have switch out arms and some that have various heads and things. And it's the same with their Bishojos. We had that with the Jaina Solo Bishojo and the Mara Jade with the swap out hands and lightsabers and things. But nothing prepared me for what I saw when I opened this box for the First Order Stormtrooper 2-pack. There were so many accessories that it was a double layered package with 2 torsos with heads and a total of 10 different arms and 8 different legs. I was actually daunted by how many parts there were. I knew that you could display these a number of different ways, but I didn't expect that many different pieces. And with right legs and left legs, I did look it up on their site. You can do 12 different poses. I think that makes sense because I did put one arm with one other arm that made no sense, and it looked like the Stormtrooper was shooting himself in the bicep.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. So, I mean, you can make some wacky poses, like, you know, maybe pretend like they're caught, like, mid-action or something, but 12 makes sense once you look at the arms and the legs.
And it came with 4 different guns, 2 per trooper. You get the blaster rifle and the blaster. And so there's a lot of duplication going on. When I said that there were 8 legs, each of these has 2 sets of legs to choose from, and they don't intermix the legs very well, so you can either have the wide stance action legs or the straight legs, but you got 2 pairs of straight legs. You could have them both standing at attention, and 2 pairs of wide action legs. So a lot of different combinations going on here that normally I think you'd have to buy multiple sets to get so many sets. I wouldn't fault them if they didn't send duplicates, if they didn't send 2 legs standing at attention, if they didn't send 2 legs in the action stance, if it was just 2 different poses, I wouldn't ding them. But I have to credit them for including all those legs.
It really gives you a lot of customization ability. You can really just make these how you want, and you can change them up because it's really easy to snap the pieces in and out. So you can totally get an entire troop of these and just make it whatever you want, which is kind of cool. That's the nice thing about this set.
Yeah, it's almost a little too easy to snap them in and out. I had a little trouble getting the legs situated because of a feature in the torso I'll talk about in a second. But you do have to kind of push them in there, and the arms I didn't have as much of a problem with. I was just able to squeeze. The legs you're kind of shoving up in there. Now, I know all these arms and legs are what they've done with their troopers in the past. They did them with their Phase 1 clones. They did them with their original trilogy Stormtroopers. But I just haven't gotten those sets. I've focused on the characters like Luke, Han, the droids. I just never picked up those trooper sets. So to get this in person in my hand really impressed me. And the other thing I didn't know that their troopers had was articulation.
Yeah, that makes it really neat because you can move the head, there's some mid-chest, there's some waist articulation.
With some of the arms, the wrist turns too, so you can get that gun in a number of different poses.
So you can, again, customize these all you want and keep changing them.
Yeah, the neck is actually got 2 different points of articulation on it. It's got a ball socket helmet, and then there's also rotation around the shoulder area. So it's like a double jointed neck. The torso's pretty much just a swivel. It gets a little bit of tilt to it, but not much. The waist, you can just swivel. But the fact that there's that articulation means that you can, again, just have an infinite number of combinations of poses now by having them twisted different ways and things. This is a set that is really intended that if you have just one, it'll look great if you buy just the single pack, but it's really intended to be if you wanted to set up a platoon, if you wanted to have a battle scene of these. And we've seen in person that awesome display that they set up at Celebration and things with all those stormtroopers, and that's what they're looking at. You can do that kind of diorama building, which really you don't see that often with statues.
No, that is an impressive sight at their conventions, though, the fleet. But I really like this. I've always been a fan of the artifacts anyway, and the fact that this has so many arms and so many legs, and you can make it your own and keep changing it up, it's really cool. I really advocate getting more of these. These guys are original trilogies.
I think this is making me need to go back and pick up, or at least look for, maybe while we're at C2E2, the Stormtroopers and the Phase 1 clones, because I just didn't realize what I was missing out on.
Yeah, these are really cool. And what's great is you can just scatter them around your collection. You can make a diorama. I think they'd be kind of cute scattered around just in various places like Waldo or something.
The paint on them's really well done, too. I mean, with a Stormtrooper, you're just dealing with black and white, but we've seen how Hasbro can get outside the lines or not give full coverage. And this has some really good-looking paint on it.
And the whites match. They're all white, the same shade.
Yeah, it's all cast from the same plastic. And I like that they gave him the hip pistol, too. Both of the right legs come with a hip pistol. It's not removable, but it adds that level of detail there. So no matter what, you've got him posed with 2 different guns. But for all these accessories, I'll say, there's one thing they're doing with their upcoming single pack that they didn't do with the 2-pack. The single pack comes with several of the same accessories, but it also comes with 4 different shoulder pauldrons. So you can have like that sand troopery look. So if you want an army build, there's this set, but the single, when it comes out, will also allow you to add that extra detail to it. But still, this is great, and the fact that the 2-pack, the MSRP on it is $84.99.
That's actually really reasonable for 2 figures with more hands and arms and legs that you could ever possibly need.
Yeah, and I'm looking just very quickly online. I can see it as cheap as $70 online. So you're looking at $35 for these statues, and individually, the Artifacts Plus usually run $50 to $60. So you're getting a great bargain with a ton of accessories. It's just another really solid entry in their line, and I cannot wait to get the VAC metallized Phasma to display between these 2.
Oh, that's going to be sweet.
Yeah. But from what I'm seeing on Koto's site, it looks like the single packaged one only can stand pretty much at attention. It doesn't have all the action poses and the fighting stances of this one. So if you combine the 2 sets, then you can get your Pauldron Sand Troopers, with different ranks all out in the action. Yeah, the Phasma is a must-have. It is a pre-order. It is not a wait for, because I think that one's going to be pretty hard to come by as one of the few vac metalized Phasma things, other than a soap bottle. I don't know why the soap bottle gets it and the Hasbro toys don't.
It's bubble bath, Arnie.
Yes. But definitely check out the photos in our photo gallery at swactionnews.com. And if you get a chance, check these out in person. They're available online and at your finer Barnes & Noble stores.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.